And unfortunately, Shawn Michaels was a part of that. And the reason people were pissed off at Shawn Michaels for a number of years, including myself, 12 years is how long it took. So, it's one of those things where it wasn't all his fault. It wasn't all Vince's fault. Hell, it wasn't even all Earl Hebner's fault. They teamed together, you know. You could blame Earl Hebner. He's the one that was originally going to do the 3 count. But, oddly, you know, as it turned out, Shawn Michaels slaps on a sharpshooter, and the fast count, or the fast thing happens, and Shawn is the new WWF champion. And then, of course, you had the backstage drama where you had Bret Hart go backstage and knock McMahon on, no, not unconscious, but, you know, punching his lights out. And it's one of those, again, I'm saying this too much, but it's just one of those things where you have to give back, I guess. He felt like he had, owed Bret that one opportunity. So for years, it was always a bitter pill to swallow for Bret, and especially Shawn Michaels.
I think he's gonna drop the title the next night, either to Michaels or to somebody else on the Raw, and then leave. But apparently, Vince McMahon and the WWE didn't like that and decided to have Shawn win the title from Bret, but in not the most conventional way.
Well, the thing is, and that's kind of, you know, I think about things through the years. Now, you go to 1997. He doesn't want Bret Hart to take the WWF title with him over to WCW. Doesn't that sound a little bit hypocritical? I don't know. Just doesn't make any sense.
Well, see, here's the thing, dude. I don't really think Bret was ever intending to take the title to WCW. It was, he was wanting to retain the title, only to lose it, I think, the next night on Raw, and then leave.
It was, yeah.
But I guess
there was no communication.
In man's head, it was, Bret was wanting to keep the title to fuck off with it to WCW.
There was no fucking communication between Bret Hart, Vince McMahon, or Eric Bischoff. What happened was that Bret Hart and Vince McMahon had a meeting. The way Bret wanted to go out, it's not that he didn't want to lose in Canada. He didn't want to lose in Canada to Shawn Michaels.
Right.
He said he would have put anybody over. Hey, me, Matt here. And
I'm Killer Kyle.
welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury. Bonjour, je m'appelle Matt. This is Kyle. So,
That's as much French as he knows, I think.
so far,
Slowly learning.
welcome to Wheels of Fury. We're going to do what I don't know if we've done in a long time. Talk about 3 episodes.
We've talked about, of course, doing a 3-part Survivor Series look back. We were going to do 97, of course, the infamous invasion angle heading into Survivor Series 2001, and then go 10 years later into 2011.
Yes.
Now, I had said that there's going to be some pay-per-views coming up as well, which would make things interesting, so On November the 13th, got Full Gear.
Mm-hmm.
Then November the 20th, we've got Turning Point. And then that Sunday, we have Survivor Series this year.
Yes.
So, it's kind of one of those things where, like, initially it was, we'll start the month off with, 97, and the next week talk about 2001, and then go into 2011, and that would lead us into Survivor Series this year. But, of course, with us doing production videos for pay-per-views as well,
Yeah.
it kind of is like, okay, how are we going to do this? So Matt was like, alright, let's just knock out all three at once, and we'll see what happens.
Now, it's a coincidence because we've already done 3 episodes for 1997, our special look back at year series. So it's kind of fitting that we start off with the most infamous day in 1997.
The most infamous Survivor Series in the WWF history, Survivor Series 1997, and of course, the famously now known Montreal Screwjob. Yes, Survivor Series 97, and at this particular point, took place in Montreal, La Belle-Provence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I talked about it once. We talked about it once.
Yeah.
Do our opinions still remain the same, or do they have a slight difference? We'll find out in the main event, but let's get to the Survivor Series 1997.
Henry and Phineas and the New Age Outlaws against the Headbangers and the New Blackjacks, the Blackjack Bradshaw, Blackjack Wyndham. Now, of course, we all know the history of Barry Wyndham being the son of Blackjack Mulligan.
Yes.
And I had seen something very interesting. This was a while ago. I think we may have talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
But Bradshaw, JPL, as he would later be known, is the, I believe, nephew of Blackjack Lanza.
Oh, yeah.
So this was a 4-on-4 Survivor Series elimination. For a moment there, I thought it was an 8-man tag, but it's not.
Right.
You got the Godwins, you got the New Age Outlaws, you got the Headbangers, and the New Blackjacks.
Yeah. And this is like when I knew Bradshaw, or when he came into WWF. I mean, yes, he was Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
There we go.
I might have seen it at that time. I can't remember, but I do remember, however, the New Blackjacks. And
Yes.
I don't know if those are fake mustaches, but whatever. I mean,
I don't think they were, honestly.
Bradshaw definitely, when they split up, he still had that moniker, that gimmick. And for a while, anyways, at least. The New Age Outlaws, it's funny because they basically feuded for a while. We had Rockabilly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Jesse James.
We had Rockabilly and had the Roadie.
The Roadie, that's right, yes. Roadie being the guy who was with Jeff Jarrett, and then, of course, Rockabilly, who was managed by, I think it was Tennessee Lee, or...
The Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah, I was going to say the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah.
I thought it was both, but no. Anyways, yeah, they eventually got together in 97, in the mid part of it, and then became the New Age Outlaws. Now, at this time, they were still, I think, trying to find their footing as a tag team.
I think so, yeah.
I don't see them as starting with DX right away.
Yeah.
Till the next year. But the Headbangers were really impressive in this match.
Oh, yeah.
There was a point where Thrasher hit one of his knees like a leg drop on, I believe it was Road Dogg.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, all four of these teams were very, like, the new Blackjacks only lasted a few months, I believe. I don't think they lasted very long. They got the Headbangers, who were one of the most popular tag teams in this time period. The New Age Outlaws, of course, were the fresh team on the scene, if you will. And then the Godwins were, a tag team for quite a number of years at this point.
Yeah, but anyways, the Godwins had won.
Yeah, the Godwins and the New Age Outlaws defeated the Headbangers and the New Blackjacks.
And I mean, yeah, this was a good match. And I think we talked about the Godwins last time, and what a unique tag team they were.
Oh yeah, very, very unique tag team. Very unique. One thing I find interesting, looking at the lineup for this event, you got 3 4-on-4 Survivor Series matches, and you go into a singles match, and you go into another 4-on-4 Survivor Series match. Then you got 2 singles matches to close out the show.
Yeah.
So the next 4-on-4 Survivor Series match you got the Truth Commission against the DOA, the Disciples of Apocalypse. You got the Interrogator, the Jackal, Recon, and Sniper for the Truth Commission. And for DOA, you've got 8 Ball, Chains, Crotch, and Skull.
Yes. No, I honestly don't remember the Truth Commission. I do remember the Jackal and Kurgan.
Yes.
For sure. But obviously, I do not remember. Like, Bob Buchanan was a part of that stable.
Right.
And obviously, I remember DOA.
Yes.
And it's kind of cool because you look at that smarmy piece of shit. And being from ECW as Cyrus, the Virus,
right,
and then going on to the Jackal.
Yep.
Don Callis has to be one of the most, kind of like James Mitchell in a way, the most. I have no idea how to put it, really.
The thing about Don Callis is throughout his tenure in the business, like Matt said, well, we don't know what he was doing prior to ECW, but ECW, WWF, a little bit in TNA, of course, AEW, maybe a few other things in there. He is definitely one of the most remembered managers, you could say, just for being out there.
Mm-hmm.
And whether there was Cyrus the Virus, or the Jackal, or how he is now, he's got that heat quality about him that even from the moment you see him, you hate him.
Fuck yeah.
He doesn't even have to talk, and you hate him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but anyways, this was a good match. Kind of thought DOA would have won over, but it was actually the Truth Commission.
Yeah.
They didn't last very long, and I think that's why I don't remember them.
Most likely, yeah. The Truth Commission didn't last very long, but I think the most kind of outstanding member of the Truth Commission was Kurgan. Kurgan, sorry.
Yeah.
Of course, later on he would be a member of
the Oddities.
Yes.
With Golga, and of course Golga being John Tenta.
Yes.
And then the other
Giant Silva.
But it's kind of funny too. Not funny, but like talk about Kurgan being from Canada, and you have Golga, John Tenta being from Canada. I'm not quite sure where Big Silva was from. I can't remember, but
yeah, I think Brazil maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, and another one I wish I knew where he was, because he was a beast.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Kurgan was that guy. And that theme music, oh my god.
Yeah.
So mesmerizing.
To the third 4-on-4 Survivor Series match for now. You got Team Canada against Team USA. You got the British Bulldog, Doug Furnace, Jim the Angel Neidhart, and Phil LaFon, sure, against Goldust, Mark Merrill, Steve Blackman, and Vader. Now here's something interesting that Matt kind of made reference to last week. Team Canada, you got the British Bulldog from Leeds, England. You got Anvil from Reno, Nevada. And I think both Doug and Phil are from the US. I don't remember exactly where, but it's like, you're representing Team Canada, and not a single person on the team is Canadian? Huh? The fuck?
You have no idea how fucking disrespectful that is. Yes, I understand that. But this time, you didn't have a lot of Canadians in WWE except for the Hearts. And I think that's it. Well, Don Callis and those guys were
Kurgan.
the other team.
Yeah.
But to have like 3 Americans and a Brit and calling them Team Canada, that to me that was just stupid. There was no reason for that. I mean, look, call them something else. You know? And I understand they probably did that because of, hey, we're in Montreal, let's call them Team Canada. Fuck off.
I mean, you could have called them fucking Team International, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
At least with the American team, okay, you got Vader's from the Rocky Mountains, Boulder, Colorado.
Yep.
Steve Blackman was from... I don't remember where he was from exactly. Mark Merrill was from New York.
Yeah, probably.
And Goldust is from Los Angeles.
Yeah, LA.
LA, Los Angeles, yeah.
But just the disrespect. And I mean, Team Canada in the TNA days at least had...
At least they were all Canadian.
Except for Jim Duggan, who kind of was a member.
Well, like you look at the original members of Team Canada. P.D. Williams, Robert Roode, A1, Eric Young.
Scott D'Amore.
Like, Eric is from Windsor?
Chatham.
Yeah, Eric's from Chatham. Petey's from Windsor.
Yes.
Bobby's from
Peterborough.
Of course, Peterborough. They say he's from Toronto, that's okay. A1, I'm not sure where he was from. Scott D'Amore, of course, he's a Windsor boy himself.
Yeah.
So.
But, I mean, to me, that was just disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I mean, I was a fan of the Bulldog, obviously. Still, you know. And if you want to associate Jim and Davey as part of the Hart family,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe, but whatever.
In any event, Team Canada got the win on that one. The singles match, you got the Devil's favorite demon in Kane against probably one of his most formidable opponents, same with The Undertaker, Mankind.
Oh yeah, this is one of their first encounters, you know. You look at Kane that just came into the WWF, and as Undertaker's brother, as Kyle just mentioned.
Yes.
It's kind of funny how you have these two guys going at it, and I mean, Mick Foley is still one of the most deranged wrestlers there ever has been. The shit the man put himself through. Kane, yeah, you know, you look at a guy who was 6 foot whatever.
6'10".
Yeah, just
6'9", 6'10".
He's a bit smaller than Taker, as Mark would say.
Yeah.
But just the whole dynamic. I mean, he came in as the Big Red Machine.
Yes.
They watered him down over the years, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this was a pretty good match, too.
Yeah, like, anytime you had Kane and Mankind, or The Undertaker and Mankind, in a match together, it was a doozy.
Yep.
They would physically beat the little ever-loving piss out of each other.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was just physical as all hell. Anyways, Kane got the win on this one.
Yep.
And the final 4-on-4 Survivor Series match of the evening, you got the World's Most Dangerous Man, Ken Shamrock, Ahmed Johnson, and Yellow D, the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal, against the Nation of Domination. You got Farouk, D'Lo Brown, Kama Mustafa, and Rocky Maivia.
Oh, God, yeah, this was when The Rock finally made his presence in the Nation of Domination.
Yep.
And, in my opinion, that was a good move. I mean, here's a guy that came in the year before, debuting at the Survivor Series. And just the outfit that he had on,
Yeah.
the fucked up hair.
Oh yeah, the outfit and this kind of curly, spiky-ish hair. And, yeah. Well, I mean, he was trying to honor his Samoan heritage, if you will. But that outfit looked more, you can say, Native American
Yeah, yeah.
than Samoan. But, you know, whatever.
I mean, if you want to look at it this way, too, you know, he's honoring both the Samoan heritage and the African American heritage.
Well,
if you
yeah.
will. I'm not quite sure, but anyways, yeah, he joined the Nation of Domination in early '97 after an injury he had.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was a good match too. And I mean, the war that these had, I mean, I think it even started in the parking lot.
I think it did, yeah.
So, I mean, these two teams beat the shit out of each other.
Oh, yeah. And the thing about it, another thing about it too, is you look at, like, the history between the Legion of Doom and the Nation of Domination at this point in time.
Yeah.
They feuded so many times. And then that's eventually how Ahmed Johnson got into the picture. And then, of course, Ken Shamrock had his issues with Nation of Domination.
Yeah.
But for the most part, Rocky Maivia.
So, let's talk about the famous rivalry of 1997. Got the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin, versus the Rocket, Owen Hart.
Yeah.
And at SummerSlam, you talk about the incident where Owen Hart did a pile driver, and yeah, somehow Austin's neck or head was misplaced, and he ended up being dropped on it.
Yeah. Owen had basically set up for like a tombstone on Austin, but instead of dropping to his knees, he decided he was going to sit down with it, and of course, Austin's head being lower than it should have been, his head hit the canvas and ended up bruising his spinal column. Now, for quite a number of years, I believe that people thought, or they said, whatever the hell, that it broke Austin's neck, but it didn't. Austin even, like, you watch this biography series, I'll call it, on A&E, where they show the biography of somebody, and then afterwards was most wanted treasures for WWE in their warehouse. Austin said, you know, didn't break my neck, it just bruised my spinal column. And he made mention too of the fact that, like, he was very, very lucky because, you know, had it have been any, his head had have been any lower, or, you know, something was a little more irregular, I'll say, it would have broke his neck, and who knows? He probably would have ended up in a wheelchair for the rest of his life or something. Who knows?
Yes, wheelchair people suck. So, and also, not to mention the fact that he did say a number of times that when he landed, he almost reminded himself of Christopher Reeve because he couldn't feel anything when he was on the ground, and he tried to move his arms, couldn't move his arms, couldn't move his hands.
And at one point, Owen went to go into the next move, and Austin was like, "Don't touch me." So of course, Owen's like, "Alright," and he's pandering to the fans and, getting that heel heat to give Austin some time to recover. And I think Earl Hebner was the referee for this match, and Austin said to Earl, "Tell Owen I'm going to go for a roll-up." And so Earl relayed the message to Owen, and of course Owen's still getting the heel heat paired into the fans, whatever. And Austin's on his hands and knees, but of course you can tell he still doesn't have much feeling in anything. He was able to move, but still didn't have much feeling, and the roll-up was sloppy, but I think Owen knowing, like, okay, something's wrong here, and once Austin was grabbed a hold of Owen's leg, Owen just kind of naturally fell back. They did the roll-up, 3 count hit. Austin retained the title, and with the help of some referees, he did walk out of the ring under his own power.
Yeah. And you look at 1992, Austin in Japan, and I can't remember for the life of me who it was, but a similar situation happened.
Yeah.
Austin did a power driver, injured this guy's neck. I'm not saying, karma's...
Not saying karma's a bitch, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna, do a tombstone, don't sit down with it. Drop to your knees, it's safer.
But, it did kind of change Austin's, I guess, style in the
Yeah.
ring, Not that he was a high flyer or anything, but
No.
he definitely became more of a brawler.
Yeah.
But anyways, this match was very cool. I mean, Owen started the match off, but Austin wrestled back. He even, did a lot of the classic, fucking Luthes press.
Yeah.
But he won the Intercontinental Championship from Owen,
Yeah.
finally.
Mhm.
And then, of course, months later, this would enter a feud with the first feud, if you will, of Steve Austin and The Rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just a note, talk about big moments. And, at the time, I'm sure it was. Austin coming out, you have the symbol in the entrance way.
Wait.
He comes out, and the glass breaks, the entrance. It almost seemed like it didn't break all the way. He had to push it aside.
Yeah. Like, it was a cool entrance, and
Yeah.
that's kind of, what they were wanting. You see Austin 316, and it was kind of like a tunnel way to the runway, whatever, to the ring. And, of course, Austin's signature theme music, you got the glass break that goes in, right? Well, on the sound of the glass breaking in the theme song, the glass is supposed to break in the entranceway and just drop,
Yeah.
and he was going to walk in. Well, when it broke, they probably had like a blast cap or just something just for it to break and then fall. But when it broke and it fell, it didn't fall completely, so he kind of had to assist it a little so he could make his way out of the tunnel and to the ring.
But there it is.
Yes. the evening for the WWF Championship. You got the Hitman Bret Hart against HBK Shawn HB Shizzle Michaels. That never went over. Shawn tried so hard to get HB Shizzle over, it never went over. No, no matter how many times he referred to himself as that, or he used that line, whatever, it just never went over. Anyways.
Just that white guy trying to be hip. Anyway.
Meh.
So, yeah, like I said, we talked about this before. I talked about it once too. Let's see if our, I guess, opinions changed over the years or they stayed the same. I don't know.
Right.
Because you have Bret Hart who was told, hey, do you want to be a heel? And he's like, yeah, okay. So he did try it. We all know the history between Shawn and Bret.
Yes.
You know, back in those days, yeah. They had very good matches for the Intercontinental title. Bret was undoubtedly the most biggest prick in the WWF at that time, and he even says so himself.
Yeah.
This was weird because you have a guy like Bret Hart who was the traditional old school wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And Shawn Michaels, yeah, you know, he wrestled in AWA and elsewhere before going to WWF, and he did have that kind of old school wrestling ability, but he also carried in the new generation, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have that, and then, you know, the WrestleMania 12, and the screwy finish, kind of, that led to... Basically, that's what I thought at the time. It was a screwy finish, and Bret Hart did the sharpshooter, the count, you know, the time ran out, Bret left with the title, had to be called back. And then, of course, the match continued. Shawn did the sweet chin music for the pin, won the title, and apparently that was the thing. They talked about this in the DVD that they had, and it was, planned out that way that it was. You wanted Shawn to be that guy who was the arrogant prick and telling the referee to get the fuck out of the ring. And, you know, it's Bret, basically. And then, of course, the thing where they follow Bret to the back. And there was a point in time where things were said, and we even talked about this in the video we did, about how you have Bret go, you can say whatever you want to Shawn. I think that's how that went, or vice versa, and then they say it on a promo or a shoot or a promo, whatever, and then it's like, why did you say that? Well, you told me to say that. Just and it's a childish bullshit. And again, it's almost like seeing the new generation versus the old generation in a way, and the fact that Survivor Series was going to happen. I think this was even before that. Bret said, you know, Shawn, if you want me to lay down for you, I will. And Shawn basically said, oh, you know, that's all good, but I'm not willing to do the same for you. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
So then, basically gloves were off, and then there's that. But then you have Bret Hart, who was going to go over to WCW.
Yeah.
And so Vince kind of thought, hey, you know what? He's going to take the title, and he's going to fuck off to WCW with the WWF title. Which was not the case at all.
Yeah.
So, let's unhash a plan for...
Screw Bret over.
Exactly.
And the thing about it was going to be this. Shawn was going to go into the Master Survivor Series against Shawn, retain the title against Shawn, only to lose it the following night on Monday Night Raw and wherever the fuck they were going to be.
Yeah.
Because this is the time they were doing, Shawn's the all-Canadian hero. He's beloved by Canada and Canada's favorite son. But in America, he was the most hated person on the face of the earth. So if you're going to have Bret lose the championship, why not do it, on American soil instead of Canadian soil?
Yeah.
And they were going back and forth, and neither one of them could come to a fucking decision about the finish. And then I guess Vince went, oh fuck it, I'll just do my own thing. Which led into what happened, and it's like, if they had have went, okay, Bret doesn't want to lose the championship to me at Survivor Series in his own country of Canada and Montreal, fine. I'll either submit to the sharpshooter or I'll let him pin me. Fine, it'll be whatever. And then you go into Monday Night Raw and he can drop the championship and then go over to WCW and do whatever in WCW. And no, they can't come to a decision about the finish. And Vince decided, oh, I'm the boss, I'm the big honcho. I don't want my employee to take my title. Rival competition, and I'm going to do my best to make sure my title stays in my company. It's like, why? All you needed to do was have Shawn get his head out of his ass for, let's say, all of about, 5 fucking minutes, and go, alright, this is what Bret doesn't want to drop the title in Canada. I'll take the pinfall, I'll take the submission, whatever the fuck. Come up with a finish for everybody to be happy. And then Bret can go on his merry little way and do whatever the fuck he wanted in WCW. But no, they couldn't do that. And it's like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I know Shawn was the arrogant fucking prick back then. And of course, he was hopped up on as many fucking drugs as you could think of, most likely. So, his head was further up his ass at that point. And, you talk about a fucking shit show. Mm-hmm. Two guys that obviously despise each other at this point can't even come up with a solid finish for your main event match on one of your big 4 fucking pay-per-views. And so Vince has got to be like, well, if they can't come to a decision, I'll make it for them.
And not to mention, fuck you, Paul Levesque, you fucking piece of fucking garbage. And I know what, I love Triple H, well I did, I was a fan, but everything was gonna be cool until he spoke and said, fuck him, if he doesn't want to do business, we'll do business for him. Well, what the fuck do you know? And for Vince to say, oh, well, Bret broke the time-honored tradition. What time-honored tradition are you fucking talking? That man broke his ass for you for a very long time. A very long time, in fact. 13 years at that time, I think it was.
I believe so, yeah.
It started when I was born, so, yeah, whatever. The fact of the matter is that this guy did whatever he could for your company, and you couldn't even fucking give him that. Yeah. You had to go all the way, and you had to give Shawn Michaels his fucking due. Even though Shawn Michaels was a piece of shit, and I don't care if he was a good worker. I don't care if he was a good worker, because, Bret is out there. You get Shawn airing dirty laundry. Oh, you had some sunny days, my friend. And then Bret Hart is fucking saying things about Shawn, and vice versa. And Kyle's right, it didn't need to fucking happen, but it did.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit. And the night after, with that midget, I'm sorry. That's a line. I'm sorry you can't say that anymore. That night with that fun-sized person and DX making fun of him. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if it wasn't for 2010 and they finally grew up and made amends, like, I have a lot of respect for Sean after that because I didn't know how that was going to go. They had a decade-long thing going for him. And, you know, yeah, maybe they're not best of friends, but at least they can look back and say, yeah, this was the shit.
And even when you think about how the finish of that match went, once the bell rang, Sean was fucking pissed. You could tell Sean was pissed.
Oh yeah, he didn't want to do it.
No.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing that I have to remember is that he didn't want to do it.
No.
You know, Vince told him to do it.
Yeah.
But he was willing to do it. He had to do it because he's a part of Team WWF. And so, yeah, it's just another example of, and you know what? I'll give you one better. I don't think Vince wanted to do it.
Probably not.
You have Vince go backstage, and he says to Brett, you get one shot. So, yeah, he gets a black eye. And then Joe Briscoe breaks his leg for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you watched the Broken Skull sessions with Shane, and, you know, recalling that night. Shane kind of admired his dad for, you know, walking into their locker room knowing that how pissed off Brett was. He's like, alright, fucking hit me, I'll let you hit me. And Brett ducked him a good one, and then of course everybody got involved to make sure that Brett wasn't going to do anything else. You know, borderline murder him or whatever the fuck. But yeah.
Yeah.
Like for you to be, you know, the boss of the company and knowing what just went down and knowing your employee is pissed the fuck off and wanting to beat your ass or whatever the fuck and actually openly and willingly go, alright, hit me. I'm sorry, what? You walk up to him and go, actually say, hit me? The balls! Holy shit.
But let's look at the other side of the coin. Because you have a guy like Bret Hart who said, I'm not greedy for money, I'm greedy for respect. And yet, he's going to WCW for more money. And I had this talk with my brother, and I said, because we talk about AEW. Now, AEW is nothing like WCW was.
No.
But you have these WWF guys going over to WCW.
Yeah.
For more money, no less. And
an opportunity to actually fucking do something?
yeah, and look what happened. Now, you have guys like Roddy Piper and Ultimate Warrior and Bret Hart. And yeah, I don't think they had a very good career in WCW. I don't know. Now, you got guys like Hall and Nash who actually were in the company before jumping to WWF. And yeah, of course, their careers are going to be better. Hogan and Savage, who did jump in, actually did better than, you know, you can name a list of guys.
Oh, yeah.
And some had good careers in WCW. A lot didn't.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, hey, we're going to pay you more money, but you're going to do some shit jobs.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you look at the most, you can say, recent AEW signee. There was a tag team match on Dynamite this past week. It's for the AAA Tag Team Championships. We had FTR against Aerostar and Samurai Del Sol.
mm-hmm.
Samurai Del Sol was formerly Kalisto in WWE.
Oh yeah, I heard that he jumped over.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, you got the fans doing the Lucha chant, and at one point he even got in on it, did the Lucha thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then of course, seeing yesterday that WWE has released more people,
Oh, fuck.
I
Yeah.
posted the video on the Wheels of Fury Facebook page.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in our Facebook chat. So if you're willing, go over there, type in Wheels of Fury, see where that takes you. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But anyways, this has been Survivor Series 1997.
Yep.
Very good, a very good year. But next up, we've got two more.
Yep.
We're gonna talk about another controversial Survivor Series, if you will. Yeah, we did talk about it, I think. I know I did. But 2001.
Yeah, I think we reviewed this either in a look back or
No, it might have been another one. I
something. We,
honestly don't think that we did. I know that I covered it, but
yeah.
anyways. So, for me and Matt, this is Killer Kyle. We will talk to you in a bit.
See ya.